Okay, where to begin? Right now I'm in the eco town, which is doing very nicely. Everybody's reasonably happy. And what I've been doing off camera for the last few hours is trying to construct this. And this is the international airport. I thought I didn't know I had a school there, by building the international airport, which is under construction here. The idea being that if I could get that done, it would help bringing more tourists. And the tourists would, of course, help me to make a success of my elegant casino. Not this one, because as we know, I've been trying to get the elegant casino to work not in this town, but in, not that one either, in this town, Everval. Let's start by going here before I tell you the story of the airport. That's actually a pretty good view. I'll just, when I'm at this view, because I think it's easy to explain the situation here, I started because the airport needs a few things. It needs oil, 250,000 barrels of crude oil. It needs metal, and it needs alloy. The oil is here. This is the only place that produces oil, so I had to send the oil from here. I called the place Oilberg, and that worked pretty well. And so all the oil was sent from there. So the next thing I had to send was metal and alloy. And rather than going through all the trouble of producing alloy and metal, I thought I'm going to go to Leverville, which is a new place I put together yesterday. And I'm going to buy the stuff. Excuse me. Had to cough. Yeah, and I said I'm going to buy the oil and the alloy. I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to ship it here. The reason I didn't bother here is because this is further away. This is quite near. I thought this would be good. Just ship it from there. Now, in order to buy the metal and the alloy, you need to put down a trade depot. And when you put the trade depot, in order to be able to buy metal and alloy, you need to open a recycling plant. That's what I did, but as soon as I put the recycling plant here and let the thing run for about half an hour, all hell broke loose in this town. Well, if I go in here, I can probably show you. I can show you a bit more clearer. Secondly, I'm assuming, because all this stuff happened as soon as I put down the recycling plant, which the job of the recycling plant is to take, it's simply to take all the metal, alloy and plastic, and then you can sell it and make some money for your town. But what happened was that fires, first of all, fires started to break out everywhere, in spite of the fact that I've got about 3 fire stations. The second thing, you can see the fires are still raging down here. The second thing that happened is that the crime rate, which was maybe 50 criminals at large, and here it was actually maybe 1 or 2 crimes committed a day. And as you can see now, we've got 343 criminals at large, and we've got 74 crimes a day. Now this might be okay if you didn't have any police stations, but as far as I'm aware here, I've got 2 normal police stations, and I've also got well, maybe I don't here actually. I thought I had a police precinct as well, but anyway, the point is, I think these things happened after I put the, where is it, the this is it here actually, this is the recycling plant, because I had let this place run for quite a while yesterday, and it was expanding very nicely. I actually had close to 200,000 people here about an hour ago. Everything was going pretty well. The crime rate was taken care of. But and then as soon as I put this, and I started to put some trade depots here, these trade depots, the idea was that they were going to take all the alloy and the metal, and they were going to help transport it, let me just speed this up, to the international airport. But yeah, I can't think of any other reason, because everything was running pretty well until this thing, and then it just seemed to go crazy. The other thing is that the figures for the collection here are really crazy. I mean, it says the garbage cans, it says I've collected 10,500 of 8,500. That's it should be maybe the other way around, but that's just not right. And recycling bins, it says 5,000 of, and again 63,000 is just ridiculously high. That shouldn't be that high. Needless to say, this also none of the recycling stuff got anywhere near the airport. The trucks went out, but they never came back. And when I checked to see, well, it's here actually, you can check to see how much, and you can see I've sent about maybe 20 tons out of 2,000 tons of metal, and about 40 tons of alloy, and it's taken about an hour or 2 hours just to send that tiny amount from here to there. So something's really gone drastically wrong. You can see you know, the fires are just and again here it's saying, it's giving me the statistic that 1 building is burning down a day. Well, I mean, you know, you can see just by looking here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, I've got 6 buildings burning in front of me, and now it's saying 6. Maybe it's catching up. I don't know what this figure is. 9, that's understandable. The crime situation is beyond fixing, I think, at this point. This traffic system, all these cars are the same. They're all, it says they're all heading home, and they've all come from Efferval, and every one of them is going to say the same thing. Came from Efferval. That kind of seems odd as well. I don't know what they're doing here, and you can see that they're, you know, they're coming from, I don't know where they're coming from, because I think Efferval is actually off over to the right. So that road is completely blocked. So if anything does manage to get to the airport, the trucks, you can, maybe these are the trucks here, they can't get back. nothing can get back because the traffic is completely blocked. So again, there's no way of sending anything here from here, because it may get there but it can't get back. So this lovely town, which was doing so well yesterday, is becoming an absolute basket case. Like I say, I've dropped from almost 200,000 to 75. I've lost 125,000 people. I've got convoys of cars that don't seem to know where they're going. Casinos not working, and a crime wave. After this, anyway, I decided I'm going to try and send the metal and the ally from where is it? From here, because this place was working pretty well when I sent all the oil from here. This has crude oil in the ground, and I was able to send 250,000 barrels of crude oil to the airport without any trouble, actually, from this town. You can see that these are the oil wells here, and I got another oil well right at the beach. It's pretty sad, but that's where it is. This town is pretty, it's not a place you'd want to live. It really was, I just really built this place purely because it's the only place where I can get the oil, and it's really just built as an oil town. There isn't really any high wealth here. There's not even any medium wealth, really. It's just low wealth. Some oops, I'm pressing the wrong button. Some shops, and that's it. Actually, the population is bigger than I thought it would get, but you can see it's a pretty, it's not a great place. Anyway, that worked in terms of the oil. I didn't know if it would, but the oil was transported all the way around here. It actually has to go through Leverville and then on to the airport. It took a while, but it worked. As you can see, if I go to the airport here, all the crude oil was sent. But just look at the state of the other two. I mean, I've spent about an hour and a half sending supplies, and all I've managed is 70 tons of metal and 100 tons of alloy. So you can see that the way things are going now, it would take, I don't know, a month to send the stuff. So that's not going to work with the way things are at the moment. So I came here and I put down the recycling center here to see if I could send the stuff from here. But again, as soon as I put that down, buildings started burning down left, right and center. The crime rate, I've got 21 crimes a day, 192, and that figure was very low here because the population is not that big. And also because I've got a police station here, and I've got a precinct, a police precinct here, and a police precinct for a place this size. I mean, that's pretty much all the shops. So normally that amount of police here should keep this place completely crime free, but it hasn't. And when it comes to the well, these figures don't look too bad, the collection figures, although I have had some trouble with this garbage dump. I've had to kind of replant it because it wasn't working. So maybe it's something else, but I have a feeling this thing is kind of glitched or something, and it's causing trouble. So at the moment here, you can see it's another place it's it's not as bad as Leverville. I don't see, I mean, I don't see any criminals actually when I'm looking down here. Maybe if I do that, I mean, it actually looks pretty good. You know, the blue here is areas that have got a high police presence. So you know, there's a high police presence just about everywhere here. So I don't know where these figures are coming from. They're not really making a lot of sense. So that's that. Now the only option that I've left is, and this is where I started, is to go back to, whoops, where am I gone there? Go back to the Echo Town, because the Echo Town, as it turns out, is the nearest one to the airport site. And if I go over here, you can see that there's a nice road here. And looking at this, you know, this looks like it could really work very well. It looks like I could send all the stuff from here. The two things that are needed, which are this and this, metal and ally. They should come up here at some point. What's the story about? Yes. However, there they are. To send these things, I'm going to need to buy them again. I'm going to need to transport the import the metal and the ally, and to do that, I think I have to put down. Let me just check. First of all, if I do put them somewhere, I really want them to be close to this area. So, where can I put one of these? I really need it to be on this road, preferably. Let's put it there. What I want is that the lorry drives in, delivers the stuff, and then the lorry that's here takes it and just goes straight back to here. Technically, I guess that should work. Now if I go in here, you'll see that at the moment I'm not allowed to put down a that's processors, where is it? The metal storage. In order to import metal, I need to have a metal headquarters or in the region, or a metals division. I wonder if I can get the metals headquarters, because I have been I've been taking coal from the ground. Ah, there's the headquarters. Well, that would be a much safer bet here than putting down the recycling center like I did in the other two towns, because that seems to cause all kinds of trouble. So let's say I take this. Where can I put it? Where is it? It's pretty big. Where is it going to fit? It's going to fit perfect here. So now I can open a metals lot here, which and ally goods. So I can. Oh gosh. I've got the police station here as well. Well, I'm just because I don't want to move this anymore, I'm going to have to get rid of this as well. That's a pretty bad thing to do. Let me just check to see what the figure is here. 7 crimes, 24 criminals. That's not so bad. And the rubbish, the figure here is okay as well. So I just need one of these and one of these. Lots of trucks. Now I guess technically you could think, well, if you're going to import stuff, why don't I build, you know, 5 of these and import a whole bunch of the stuff and send it over there all at once. And I did try that when I was sending the crude oil from Oilberg, but I found that even though I had about 5 of these, everything was just working off the one and the other ones were just sitting empty, so it didn't work. So I don't think there's any point in doing a whole load of trade depots. So what I need to do with the metal is import it, and what I need to do with this is import it. I mean, obviously if this was working some way, you could do something else in the meantime, maybe. Well, here comes. So let me check to see how much this is. Right, it's 10 tons, and that's 10 tons as well. So each time this lorry, it takes 10 tons. There goes 10 tons of ally, and there goes another 10 tons of metal. So let's have a look at that. So 10 tons each time. Well, you can see how long this is going to take. Each lorry is 10. It's 10 lorries will just give you 100 tons, and I need 2,000 tons. You divide that by 10, it's 200 of those trips are needed, you know. So I need to kind of sit here and watch 200 of these little trips back and forward, which I guess it's possible to do that if you've got lots of other things to do in your town. The other thing, of course, is that this is I'm importing this stuff, and it is, if I can see, can I see how much that costs? Yeah, there you go. It costs 31,000 for each 10 tons. God, I'm not good at maths, but how much? Let's. I need 2,000 of those. 200. Well, it's safe to say that that is a hell of a lot more money than I've got here. So it's not going to be a problem watching this for too long, because this figure is going to diminish a lot quicker than you think, and the town will be bankrupt. However, on the bright side, this is working a lot better than any of the other ideas I had, and it's I'm very glad I didn't have to put down the processing plant, because it would seem that my town, it's still running here the way it was 10 minutes ago, I think. There is kind of a huge amount of crime, but when you look at the crime, the local criminals are 41 and the regional ones are 129. Unfortunately, when you have a problem in one place with crime, it spreads to the other towns, because they just move from one place to the next. I don't have any trouble with fires yet, so that's good. That may be due to the fact that everything's being collected. When I put the recycling plant, it really messed up the figure of garbage cans being collected, and if the garbage cans are not being collected, fires seem to start all over the place. That's probably one reason why the other two towns kind of went kaput. So I may just stop here for a while, just let the thing run on and see what I'm going to do next, because even if this thing gets built, and right now I really want to see it built, just because I've put the effort in, and I'd like to see it completed. But I have a feeling, even if it is completed, I don't think it's going to have any effect whatsoever on the casino I'm trying to sort out this difficult last casino here. It caters solely to the nouveau rich. This expensive casino is only for the most discerning of cities. You will need to entice high-wealth tourists to meet the demanding maintenance costs. And the maintenance costs really is where the problem lies, because this thing costs nearly 9,000 an hour to run, whereas this one costs 2,000 an hour to run. So you have to be making so much money, otherwise you're just draining your finances away. And the more high wealth people you get, the more money you make. But the problem for me has been that I have not been able to find any high wealth people, except 5 and 6 every now and again coming off of the airports. So whether that would have any effect is hard to say. What I may do is kind of forget about Everval and just kind of accept that perhaps it's just not located in the best place. And what I may attempt to do, if I can build this thing, is to do some restructuring here. I mean, this is the road here coming pretty much straight from the airport. So what I may do is rearrange all this area here, put some hotels and the Elegant Casino, perhaps some of the attractions. As you can see, this is such a slow process, and I'm going to have to find a way of getting more money, because I'm going to run out of funds here very quickly. So let's call it an episode there, and I shall be back in the next episode to try out what may be my last endeavor to get the casino to work